Alright, welcome to part 3 of the 100% 2024 tutorial. We're on our way down to Upper Norfair. We just finished Kraid and grabbed the Varia suit, and now we're heading down through the elevator room, which is called Business Center. To start off, we want to go to the bottom of this room, and then we're going to go through the door on the left to get high jump. So let's get into it. At the bottom of the elevator, you're going to want to hold jump and left, as you can see here in the input display. What this is going to do is buffer a spin jump off the left side. From there, you want to drop down with an angle down and shoot just as you're landing, which will kill this Nova. You can grab its drop with a down back on the way down. We're going to be doing a lot of drop collection here. Resource management is very important in 100%, and this is where it really starts. So we collect this drop, do a down back. At this point, you want to release back so that Samus stops moving forward. This is because we don't want to land on this ledge here. And then after you pass the ledge, you want to start pressing back again to continue your down back so that you don't bonk on the way down over here. Turn around on your way down, aim left, angle down, fire a super as you're falling to open this door a bit early, land, and run through the door. Let's take a look at what Behemoth does. So he gets to the bottom. He also farms his Nova. Does the same down back, the same early super, and runs through the door. Okay, so as you come into this room, the idea here is that you're going to want to jump just before you reach the energy tank, so that you collect it as you're jumping over it, or over the podium rather, but you don't want to jump too high either. And the reason for that is because after collecting the energy tank, we are going to be landing on this block over here on the far left, but you want to do a turnaround while you're aiming down to kind of quick drop through it if possible. I might mess it up here. Okay, so no, that is what you want to do here. But the other tricky thing about this is that as you're falling, you actually want to shoot so that you kill this Nova here at the bottom, and it will drop an item for you, which you then want to collect. The other thing is, at least in the normal 100% route, you want to open this door right over here on the right side after you kill this Nova, because if you look here, it's gray, it's locked when we enter this room, and it won't unlock until this Nova is dead. If you kill this Nova and then leave the room without opening this door, it will be locked again on our way out, and that will cause an issue. So we want to do a quick drop through this last block, shoot the Nova, and then we need to open this door right here. There's two different ways you can do this. You can either jump up, shoot, and then morph and roll to the left, or if you want to try and save, I think it's like 10 frames. It might even be more than that. There is a little trick here where you can quickly run forward and shoot while still running forward. So see this very small period of time that I'm running forward here, and then I shoot. What that does, I explained this in, I think, the speedrun basics and general movement tutorial, but when you shoot while running forward, you Doppler the shot so it gets extra speed, but also that shot will appear 1 pixel higher than it would otherwise, which since we have Spacer Beam, you can't actually see the top Spacer Beam here, but it's just barely high enough that it actually goes through all of these blocks and hits the door to open it, which is pretty nifty. So again, the standard strat that most people do is they quick drop, they kill the Nova, and then they quickly just jump, shoot, and then morph and roll to the left. But you can do this Doppler shot here to quickly open the door if you want. From here, you just want to morph to the left, fall down. You can try and do a ball pump here, which I talked about in the first video. If you look at my inputs, so after bouncing, I push up. See this? I push up, and then I push jump. And basically the idea behind that is I'm hoping that I'll get that ball pump mechanic to land a couple frames earlier. I don't know if it worked here or not. It's not something I've put too much time or effort into, but it is a thing that could happen. And then if you see, I'm actually still holding left and up on the D-pad. The reason for that is because when you unmorph here, you want to stand and angle up pretty much as soon as you can so you can shoot this door to open it early. And holding, kind of buffering an up input here is the most comfortable way that I've found to do that. Because if you hold up here, Samus isn't going to unmorph early. But then you're still holding up here, which is nice. Once you pass this block, so see how Samus is to the left of this block here, that's when you want to unmorph. If you morph underneath here, Samus is actually going to get stuck. She won't be able to move forward to the left until you morph and roll left and then unmorph. So that's why we unmorph a little late here. Again, angle up, shoot the door, and then just jump and ledge grab through, run through. All right, now let's just take a quick look at Behemoth's room. So kind of the same thing. He runs, he jumps, he collects the energy tank as he's jumping over the thing on the bottom, and then he also does this quick drop, shoot. He does the jump, shoot, roll to the left, drop on down. See, he also bounces here at the bottom. I don't know if he goes for the ball pump. I'm guessing he probably doesn't. And then, yeah, looks like he is also doing something to buffer an angle up shot. But he opens the door, jumps, ledge grab, run through. Okay, next couple of rooms here. So when you get in here, the idea is you want to jump. These are blocks that you can shoot out, so you'll jump and shoot out these blocks. And then you don't want to land before you get down here. So you want to jump, shoot, and then shoot this to reveal high jump as you're falling down and then collect it. So like that. That's the general idea. Notice that I'm aiming down here at the top, and that is to shrink Samus's hitbox so we're less likely to land on the edge here. Because if you do land, it's going to be slower. You'll lose some time. So you fall down, grab high jump, and then you want to jump back over the column here. You want to stay and spin until you're past. Again, smaller hitbox. It's just easier to get over. And then you want to preemptively open this door with an angle down shot like that. Okay. And then you want to jump through this door. In any percent, we would actually, we'd want to run and fall through this door. But in 100%, we actually want to jump through this door because there's a missile pack that we need to collect in the next room. So we're just going to take a look at this. So you want to spin jump up, ledge grab here, and then you want to do another spin jump and ledge grab here. You can do this morph instead. It's going to be about the same either way. So just kind of do what's more comfortable for you. You want to morph through, and then you want to unmorph and run into the missile. Run forward, jump, morph, and lay a bomb here. That's going to break these blocks. You can try and go back and mock ball through here, but it's really hard. So what I do is I just roll to the left and wait for the bomb to explode. And then I try to time my roll to the right as it's exploding. Here, you want to unmorph as you land, shoot to open the door, spin jump over the podium, and then jump through this door. Now let's take another look at what Behemoth does. So kind of the same idea there. He jumps and aims down over the column, spin jump back over the column, jump through the door, ledge grab, morph, roll, unmorph, grab the missiles. He lays the bomb. He just holds right the whole time, I'm assuming. And then run and jump through the door. We're going to take a quick look at Zos' rooms here too, because he has power bombs. So he can just quick drop through and then roll to the left. He skips this drop. I personally wouldn't recommend that, but it can save a few frames. He doesn't need to open this door here, and the reason for that is because he's actually going to use power bombs on the way out. So let's just take a look at that real quick. So as he's jumping out of the high jump room, he actually morphs here and lays a power bomb. What that does, it does two things. So the power bomb is going to destroy the Nova. So now the door is unlocked for him, which is why he didn't have to worry about unlocking the door before. And it's also going to break these blocks preemptively for him. So he actually can do this kind of mock ball through here, and he also doesn't need to wait for his bomb to break the blocks. So this is just one small example of the many ways that power bombs can save you a little bit of time here and there if you decide to grab them early. If you are going to go with the early power bombs route, you really should look into all of these optimizations, because otherwise it is going to be a net loss time for you. So, all right, let's go through a few more rooms here. So as you're coming out of this room, what you want to do is you want to hold angle up and shoot, which you can see here in my inputs. What that will do is it will buffer an angle up shot on this Nova to kill it as early as possible. I'm going to do something a little different here than Behemoth does. Both strats are about the same. His door leaving this room is a little better than mine. My movement to the door is a little better than his. So really, it's going to come down to comfort on what you want to do. But what I do here is I kill this first Nova, and then I shoot up, and I do a crouch jump up to this ledge. From there, I down grab this ledge, and I spin jump up, shoot that Nova, collect this drop right here, collect that Nova's drop as well, preemptively open this door, jump, aim down, and land, and then run and jump through this door. So that's a 3-drop collection strat. Now let's just watch it in normal speed. Okay. You do want to do a later jump through this door if possible, because if you jump earlier, the door is going to scroll way down and you're going to lose a bunch of frames that way. So just keep that in mind. And notice that even jumping as low as I can through the door, it still does have to scroll quite a bit to get to the center. All right, now looking at Behemoth's room. So as I mentioned, he does something a little different than me. He shoots both of these Novas here on the bottom, and then he goes on the right. He does an upshot, ledge grab over here on the right side, and then he grabs a drop, which again, he did an upshot earlier to kill that Nova. See that, how it flies up and kills that Nova. And then he does a bigger jump up onto this ledge. He shoots the door as he's up here, and then he aims down to bring the door up higher before running through. Looks like he missed the jump there. I'm pretty sure he does main the jump through the door. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure he does. This next room is really straightforward. So basically, assuming that you jumped through the door, just hold down and then shoot. Sorry. So you can see on the input viewer, I'm not holding shoot here, but Samus is aiming down now, and then she moves forward, and then you shoot. You'll shoot out the block, and then you fall down through here. So you'll fall down through here, and then you want to release the charge shot as you're passing this block here, the bottom of this thing. That will kill this first mini disc Giga, and then you want to shoot twice, 3 times. Select your supers, jump up, ledge grab, jump up again, shoot the super and down grab onto this ledge, and then run through the door. This room has changed a bit. I'm going to explain the way that I do it, and then we're going to watch what Behemoth does. I've never actually practiced Behemoth strat, so apologies if I'm struggling to explain that. But for what I do, so you want to spin, and essentially you need to jump late enough here that you don't bonk the left side of this piece of the ceiling that hangs down. So you want to be low enough that you move under this. Then you want to do an angle down shot here. That's going to kill this Nova down here. You can just run off here, and you want to be charging another shot here. This is different than what I used to do, and it is a little faster. So as you're charging this shot, you want to run forward, jump, and then release the shot pretty early here so that it's Samus is about halfway over here, kind of aligned with the top of this right here. The shot will come out again about halfway over this thing. It's going to kill this Garuda here. From there, you want to be charging another shot. Okay, so you release a shot, and then you're charging another shot, and you want to release it here to kill this Garuda as well. You'll fall all the way down here, and you want to do an angle down shot to try and reveal this missile here. If you miss like I did, you can try and back it up by doing another down shot once you reach this wall here. I shot just a little too early, so it still didn't hit the block. So I morph, and then I have to unmorph, shoot the block, collect the missile that way. All right, after the fanfare, you just want to spin jump out of the lava, spin jump up to this second ledge here. And then I always did an angle down shot as I was coming over this thing to farm this Nova. I was definitely considering dropping this farm near the end of my grind. I never ended up doing that. This is a little slower than if you were to just optimally ledge grab up here and run off, but it's not too bad, and you do get a drop from it. At that point, you want to super missile the door and then run through. So let's watch the whole room. Okay, let's take a look at Behemoth's rooms. So since he didn't jump through the door, he needs to jump after the door and then aim down and shoot. Not really a big deal. Outside of that, he does basically the same thing in this room. And then again, this next room is actually, it's different than what I do. So let's just take a look at what he does here. So he does this angle down shot to clear this Nova and get the drop. He looks like he charges a shot, and then instead of jumping over or shooting this early, he runs off. He kills the Garuda on his way down. Then he collects this missile, and he kills the other Garuda on his way out, I believe. Oh no, he actually just, okay. So he just does an unmorphed Kago through it, which makes sense. The downside to this that I see is that you're not going to get a drop from this other Garuda, and also your energy is going to be lower when you're done with this segment than it probably would be otherwise. Either that or you're going to have to farm more to get your energy up. That's not a huge deal, especially because of some of the optimizations that have been made a little bit later in the run, so that energy is less of a concern. But it is just worth noting, you do miss out on the drop down here if you don't kill this other Garuda, and your energy is going to be just a little lower there. So okay, so let's watch what he does in real time. Okay, this room can be really tricky or really basic, depending on how you want to approach it. The way that Behemoth and I both approach it is the more tricky way, and the reason for that is because it's a little faster. It's not that much faster, but basically, when you enter here, you want to jump, and then what you want to do is try and do a bounce ball off of this platform, like so. Okay. From there, you want to run forward, jump, and then damage boost off of this Nova to the right. Boop. That will land you on the edge of this platform. You want to run all the way to the right side of this platform and then jump. You should land right around here. If you fall short, you'll probably land between this dragon guy and this platform, and you'll need to jump up. So after you land on this platform, you want to jump forward and do another angle down shot to kill this Nova and get its drop. And then you shoot here. This is going to open the door over on the right side. So you jump across, and if you jumped late enough with enough run speed, you can make it all the way across to the edge. If you do happen to fall down, you can see I thought I was going to fall. You can either do a wall jump here, that's what I tried to do, or you will land just down here in the lava, and you just need to do a spin jump up and run through. So we'll just watch what Behemoth does here. Bounce ball, deboost, jump, jump. He does not farm that Nova. So he saves just a little time by skipping this Nova farm right here. But again, honestly, I would personally rather have the drop, just because resource management is so incredibly important in this category. But he's decided against it, and that's fine. And go ahead and run through the door. Okay. I did mention there's an easier strat, so let's just talk about that real quick. If you don't want to do all the damage boosting and stuff on the top side, you can technically just morph and roll all the way under. You can either jump and morph here and roll, or you can try and squeeze in here. If you go here, this is a little faster, but really it's up to you what you want to do. But basically, you would just roll as a morph ball all the way across the room. You would hit this Nova and this dragon over here and stuff as you're going. And then just as the lava starts to rise, which I think is, yeah, right around here, you would just unmorph, jump up onto this platform, and then jump across. It is a little slower, but it's definitely easier if you're struggling with the top route strat. So, all right, let's talk about Bubble Mountain. So there's a few different ways to approach this room. I personally really like my strat, but you know, you can mess around with it and find out what's more comfortable for you. So just to start off here, I jump, aim up, and then shoot as I'm passing the edge up here. The Spazer shot will go up through the platform, and from there I down grab on the corner here. If you shot at the right time, it's going to kill the waver up here. So see that? See how it killed the waver, and this is going to leave a drop here now. Just in case you miss the shot, I always shoot when I get up to the top here, because if you do miss a shot, the waiver is going to be down here in your way. So as I jump up, I shoot to the left. If the waiver is not there, it's going to open the door. So just make sure that you don't run too far left. Position yourself as far left as you can. Again, not going through the door. And then hold dash, run to the right and jump. And basically you're aiming to jump right off the corner here. Nice super drop there from the waiver. You basically want to hold jump until Samus has reached the peak of her jump. And then from there, you just need to do a wall jump here and here. Now, notice that I have missiles selected. That's actually something that I kind of forgot to cover. So let's just rewind here for a second. So after I shoot this up shot and then this phaser shot to the left, I select missiles. And the reason that I'm selecting missiles is so that they're already selected when I'm doing these wall jumps. So I don't need to worry about trying to select in the middle of doing these wall jumps, so that I can shoot this cack on the way up. Something to keep in mind about this cack attack, when it swells up and shoots its little spiny things, I think it's RNG. It might be, you know, some sort of other like global timer or something like that. But basically, it's going to have different patterns that it's going through as you get to the top of the room. So as soon as you can see this cack attack, we call him King Cack because he's sitting at the top of the hill or whatever. You want to see if he's doing a swelling animation. And if he is, you need to make note of that so that you can basically prevent yourself from wall jumping up and getting hit by a spiny and falling all the way back down. Because that friggin' sucks. In this case, he's not swelling up, so I go ahead and just do the extra wall jump, shoot him with the missile, collect the super. From there, I shoot a super missile to open the door over here. It's a super missile door. You can see the green here on the far right as it's opening. And a lot of people will do a deboost off of this waiver. Again, I've actually found the drop to be more beneficial. So in 100% specifically, I shoot the waiver after shooting the super to open the door. I collect its drop. And then as I'm jumping here, I reach over, I push select. I push and hold select, and then I push X to select a missile that will auto deselect. From there, I hold angle up on the D-pad and I run through the door. That's to set up the next room. So I guess, you know what, I'll just talk about that now as well. Okay, so as you're entering this room, you want to make sure that you have the missile selected or on auto deselect mode. You want to let Samus run forward just a little bit and then hold angle up to make her stop kind of on the edge of the platform. After she has stopped, you want to shoot the missile and then immediately shoot another shot. It should be a phaser shot because we have this missile set to auto deselect. And that phaser shot is going to break this hole in the top of the ceiling up here, which is where we need to go. From there, after you've shot both of those, you want to hold dash, run forward, and then immediately aim down to do a gap skip. If you don't have dash speed right here, what's going to happen is when you aim down, Samus is just going to fall into the lava. It's not the end of the world, but it is definitely a time loss. So if you're struggling to do this fast enough, which is something that I struggled with for a long time, what you can do instead is you can wait for these particles to start dropping down and then just jump over them and go. I did that for a long time. It's definitely slower than this strat right here, but it's better than falling in the lava. So after you've done the gap skip and you're on these bubbles here, you want to hold dash and jump and then wall jump, and you want to do kind of a high wall jump here. The reason we're jumping so high instead of grabbing this ledge as soon as we can is because as Samus falls down right here, you'll see that the screen is scrolling up. We want the screen to scroll up as far as it can to fix this door transition, because otherwise this door transition is going to be super slow. So the speed of this door transition is actually pretty good right here, but if I had done like a really tight ledge grab here, it would have been really long. So that's why we do that big wall jump there. There are some other strats to get through this room, but all of them involve either a farm that you don't need or a way worse door transition, or both. So that's kind of why I've settled on doing what I just explained here. You know, obviously it's up to you what you're going to do ultimately. Comfort should come first, obviously, but yeah. So, and this room is called Bat Cave, by the way. So that's Bat Cave. So let's look at Behemoth's Bubble Mountain. So his is quite a bit different than mine. Notice he doesn't shoot the waiver prematurely. He just shoots it right here. And the other thing is he selects a missile mid-jump to shoot this cack, and then he does do this deboost off of the waiver. I don't know if I'm misremembering or if this was a different category, but another thing that I know that he used to do is he would hold a charge shot. And I may actually be mixing this up with somebody else, but I'm pretty sure Behemoth used to do this. He would hold a charge shot, and then he would do an angle up charge shot before jumping right here. And if you do the angle up charge shot from over here, it will fly up and hit this cack. It is slower, but it prevents this cack from ever knocking you back down Bubble Mountain. So that's the benefit there. Because he does the deboost, looks like he selects his missile during the deboost. Yeah, so he does the auto deselect during the deboost. I'm not sure, like, thinking about it in my head, I'm not sure how he does that comfortably. Maybe he has a different grip that he uses or, you know, something. But that is something to keep in mind. You know, that's an option for you. In this room, he stops right outside the door, does his auto deselect missile on the scree here, and then he shoots his spacer shot as he's dashing forward. That does work. The reason that I don't do that personally is just because it doesn't really work very well with my grip. So yeah, that's definitely an option. You see that he also does the kind of high wall jump there to fix the door, and he also doesn't farm, just like I skipped this farm. You may see people farm here on the left and then go through, and that is a viable thing, but it was more of a thing before we stopped jumping to fix this door. If you come over here and you farm here first, that's actually going to make this a worse door transition. So that's another thing to keep in mind. All right, so as we enter Speed Booster Hallway, you know, honestly, this room is pretty basic. You know, as you look at it, you can tell you're just running forward, running down the slopes, you open the door, and you collect the missile pack here, and then you run through the door, right? So there's really not a whole lot to this room. That being said, if we look at this a little bit slower, you can see over in the input viewer here, I'm arm pumping on both L and R here, right? So I'm arm pumping on L and R, and then I actually switch and I start Zoden pumping on just R. And as you can see, you know, obviously we're getting a lot of R inputs here. That actually does make quite a big difference in the speed of this room. So if possible, I would definitely recommend looking into doing some sort of Zoden pumping in this room. It can save like half a second if you do it pretty well. Essentially what I'm doing here is I move the controller forward, and I hold it against my my belly or my chest, and I hold the left side of the controller normally, just like I would here. I take my right hand and I do the Zoden pumping with my right hand, just holding the controller normally, again, like against my chest, basically, with my left hand. So this part is actually pretty important. So you'll notice as I'm passing these spikes, I stop Zoden pumping right about here. Okay, so that's the third set of spikes is where I stop the Zoden pumping, and I switch and I choose missiles, and that's where I start shooting the missiles. You can start shooting your missiles about halfway after this third set of spikes, and you want to shoot 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then stop. Underneath right here is where the missile is. You can also look at a ground cue. It's before the big bubble, which is before the door. So you want to stop right around here, aim up, shoot, jump, and collect the missile pack. Make sure that you don't turn as you are jumping up to collect the missile pack. If Samus is in a turn animation, when she collects a missile pack, it's going to use the uninterruptible frames of the turn animation to make her jump all the way up into the hole, and we actually don't want that. So you'll see here after the missile collection, I don't actually go all the way up into the hole. I turn left, and then I turn back to the right and run through the door. So from here, you want to hold a shot into this room so that you can release it as you come out of this door. Because we have Spazer, that will reveal the speed booster, so you don't need to shoot after jumping which allows you to stay in spin when you're jumping to collect the speed booster, which, since you are still in spin, allows you to turn around and collect it with a wall jump check. So that's what we're doing here. Collect it with a wall jump check. Shoot the door as you land, turning left. Jump all the way across the gap. You might see some people run off and jump up. That's a little slower. So you want to jump all the way across the gap here, onto the edge right here, and then run forward through the door. You'll notice I don't Zoden pump on the way back. I've had quite a few people ask me why that is, and essentially it's because the room is so much faster with Speed Booster. There's less time to get benefit out of the extra arm pumps. If you can do Zoden pumping really well, you can still save like 5+ frames doing it, but obviously saving something like 5 frames is much less and different than saving like half a second, which is like 30+ frames. So the reason I don't do it on the way back is just mainly comfort and consistency. It is still a little bit faster if you can do it well, but it's much less important than doing it on the way down to Speed Booster. Okay, so as we come out of this room, you can see I'm holding angle down here, and then you'll see I actually release angle down and then shoot. Okay, so pay close attention to the inputs here. You see there's a gap here. The reason for that is because when you release angle down and you're not holding jump or aim down or whatever, that will stop Samus's forward momentum. So then when we shoot, the shot does not get the Doppler speed, and it will hit these bugs that are in this pipe. As soon as you enter this room, there are bugs spawned here in this pipe, even though you can't see them. So we want to shoot them basically as quickly as possible so that we can collect their drops. And if you shoot while Samus is still moving forward, what will happen is the shot will get Dopplered speed and it will hit over here instead, and it won't actually hit the bugs. So that's why we release angle down and then shoot. And then from there you want to collect the drops. I usually just do 1 round of drop collections here, unless my resources are really bad, in which case I'll do 2 or 3. But after you collect the drops and you're facing right, you want to shoot, which will break these blocks here. And then you just want to run, jump, aim down into the hole. You want to shoot as you're falling. That second shot is going to break these blocks here, so you can just fall on down through. And then hold forward. You can just hold forward this entire time. You will not hit that scree. And then you want to shoot after you pass this scree, which will open the door. Okay, so this shot is going to come over here and open the door. Then you can turn right and damage boost pretty much as soon as you land. The scree is going to follow you down and hit you here. So you can damage boost. The door will already be opening and you can boost all the way through the door. That is a little faster than alternative strats that you may see people doing. I used to think it was really hard, and the reason that I thought it was really hard was because I didn't understand that you can just hold forward here the entire time as you're falling. So that was kind of the key for me figuring that out. You do want to be holding forward as you shoot, because again, that will Doppler this shot, so it will hit the door earlier, so the door will open earlier, which will allow you to boost through it. So yeah, that's Speed Booster, hallway, and then Batcave coming back. Let's just take a quick look at what Behemoth does. So I know that he tried Zoden pumping here. I think it wasn't working very well for him, so he decided not to do it. But you'll see he starts shooting the missiles around the same time that I mentioned. So as he's passing these third set of spikes, he starts shooting about halfway through. He shoots the 5 missiles, shoots up, collects the missile pack, runs through the door. He releases a shot coming out of this door. He does a wall jump check to grab Speed Booster. And then, yeah, he just, arm pumps. One thing that I didn't mention that I probably should mention here. So you want to release your shot at the top of these slopes. Okay, so this is the last slope here. You'll get a feel for kind of, how many slopes you're running up or how long it takes to get through the room. But you go 1, 2, 3, and then you release the shot at the top of the third slope. Releasing the shot here will hit the door so that you don't bonk on it as you're running through. If you shoot too late, and this is especially true with a charge shot, which is why I don't actually charge my shot here, it will actually bonk this scree here, so it won't open the door. So make sure that you're shooting your shot kind of as you're passing the top of this slope here. It will open the door, and then you do want to jump through this door to fix the door transition, because if you don't jump, it's going to be higher and it's going to have to scroll down before it will move across. That is easier than the strat that I do in the next room, but it is definitely slower. So as for Behemoth strat, it looks like he just skipped the farms here. That is a viable thing to do if you're really confident in your resources. I've only done it in PB runs, I think, once or twice. But if you do decide that you want to skip these drops, as you can see, Behemoth just kind of turns and then shoots down and falls down immediately. That is pretty specific in how it works. You can, I don't know if he's doing this here, it doesn't look like he is, but you can hold an angle and turn, and Samus will stop in almost the right spot. To me, it looks like he's doing the aim down specifically because that helps. But again, I'm not 100% sure. Usually when I skip these drops and I fall down, I'm still in a spin here, and I just try to time it correctly. That is pretty hard, but that's what I do. So if you do drop down immediately, make sure that you shoot twice so you can clear these blocks. And then he goes for a boost off this right scree. He messes it up. Not really a big deal, but if you do boost off of that right scree, which is what I used to do, what's going to happen is you're going to boost all the way over here, and then the door is still closed, so you're not going to be able to run through. So it's better to boost and then stop and shoot the door and then run through. So, okay. So as you come out of this door, you just want to run off here. As long as you have enough dash speed, which will be 99% of the time, you'll just run off and over this corner here. Then you want to drop down. You want to shoot this door as early as you can. Basically, there's a few different visual cues you can come up with. You can look at this bubble up here in the top left. As it goes off the screen, it's okay to shoot. I just kind of eyeball as Samus is falling and as she's passing kind of this general area here. That's when I shoot. And then assuming that you shot early enough, the door will open in time that you can just hold dash and right and make it through without bonking. If you do bonk this door, you'll need to adjust the next room just a little bit. However you decide to do that is up to you. But as for the main strat here in 100% that I like to go over, that's what we're going to talk about here. So the idea in this room is we want to get down to this door as quickly as possible. There's a couple different ways that you can do this. The fastest method is to do this damage boost here, like that. The easiest way that I find to do this damage boost is to hold jump after you enter this door. So see, I enter the door, and then on the input viewer, I press and hold jump right there. So I'm holding jump this entire time, okay? I also hold shoot coming out of the door. That will get us an extra arm pump, but we shoot, and then arm pump twice is what I do. Shoot, arm pump, arm pump. Again, we're holding jump this entire time, and you want to damage boost. You want to do a low damage boost off this guy. So we hit this guy, see that I'm holding forward, okay? That gets us the damage boost. And then pretty much as late as you can, you want to do the back press. As long as you do it late enough, you will avoid this corner right here. If your damage boost is too early, what's going to happen is you're going to land on this corner before you fall down. There is also a very slight chance, and this really sucks when it happens, but if you don't get the forward press on this orb and then you damage boost, it can actually boost you back up onto this platform, and that really sucks. So make sure that you get that forward press when you connect this guy, so you get the downward boost. If you don't want to do the damage boost strat, the best thing to do is to do a short spin jump off around this corner, okay? And then do an angle down missile as you're falling right here to kill this guy so he doesn't bonk you. The other reason that you want to kill this guy in that situation is because if you don't, this room is going to be pretty laggy down here. There's not very much lag in this situation because we have iframes from the damage boost, but if you do the spin jump and you don't do the damage boost, you won't have iframes, so it's better to kill this guy to reduce the lag as you are opening this door. If you have enough super missiles, you definitely want to super this door. The only situation that I would ever not super this door is if I only had like one super. or 0, obviously. But if you use missiles to open this door, 1, that's going to generate a lot of lag, and 2, it's just really awkward to shoot all 5 missiles in an efficient way to open the door and run through. So another thing here, this door transition pretty much always sucks. So you can see it has to scroll a lot right there. You can try and find different ways to fix it, but ultimately the best thing that I found is to do this short spin jump right here. Try to land on the edge and run through. If you do a gap skip over this, it's going to make the door transition even worse. It will get you a little bit more run speed into the next room, but it's a little bit slower overall as compared to just doing the spin jump, landing, and running through. Okay, in this room, as we come out of the door, we want to jump near the edge of the platform, and then we want to shoot. Okay, this shot, if it's too high, it's going to be blocked by this, I think it's called a stalactite that sticks out of the ceiling. So you don't want to be too high when you shoot. You also don't want to be too low. This shot is going to hit a gate over on the right side of the room to open it preemptively for us. And if it's too low, it won't hit the switch on the gate. So you come out of the door, you jump, and you shoot. You want to make sure that you're jumping high enough that you won't land on this platform. We want to land on this platform down here instead. Please keep in mind that if you release right after shooting, Samus is going to lose her forward momentum here, and she can fall down and miss this platform, and that's really bad. So try to avoid that. From here, you just want to do some short spin jumps. You can safely ledge grab these platforms as long as they're not moving up towards Samus. So notice that this one is moving down when we grab onto it. So you're okay to do a ledge grab on this one and on this one. If you're uncomfortable doing it, because there is a chance if you ledge grab on these things while they're moving upward that Samus will just clip through it, and that's also really bad. So if you're uncomfortable doing that, just break spin before you land, like this. I would recommend breaking spin as opposed to landing on the platform in spin, just because that is really slow, but ultimately it's up to you. After this last platform, again, notice that the gate was open for us because of the spazer shot that we did at the beginning of the room. You just want to land on the edge, run forward, grab the missiles, and then you want to jump near the edge of this platform. You don't need to jump all the way to the ceiling. It's actually a little faster to do a shorter jump. If you do jump all the way to the ceiling and you have enough run speed, what's going to happen is you're going to kind of hit the wall right around here. And if you try to wall jump from this position, you're going to bonk this on your way up. So it's actually beneficial to jump a little bit shorter here, if possible, just so that you don't have to delay your wall jump here. Notice that I already have super missiles selected here. So you want to wall jump, you want to shoot the super as you're over this ledge here, and then you can down grab onto the platform and run on through. If you don't have enough supers to use one here, you'll want to have missiles selected instead and just shoot missiles on your way up and then back down. So you do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, land and run through. All right, so let's just watch this in full speed. Skip the transition here. Down grab, run through the door. This is another situation where you can hold shoot into the door or coming out of the door, and it will open this item for you, and then you can do the wall jump check. So very similar to Speed Booster here. Just hold shoot, jump, spin, turn left to grab a wave beam. And then right here, you do want to shoot the door on your way back to the left. You want to jump, and you want to land on the edge of this, but really you don't want to land on the far edge here, or it's going to make the jump in the next room more difficult just because of the way that vertical speed works in this game. So don't stress too much about being on the far edge here. And if you happen to fall down in this space, try not to do like a down grab onto this. Just jump up, land, and then run through. In this room, you want to jump near the edge of the platform. Hold jump the whole time until you hit the ceiling. And then you want to stay in spin as long as you can, because that will get you further along these spikes. Aim down once you're reaching kind of the edge of the spikes, and you can do a quick drop through. These last 2 spikes here are fake, they're crumble blocks. So you quick drop down through here. Depending on how much run speed you had leaving the previous room and when you jump, you can actually make it further over to the left here so it's not quite so tight looking. I barely made this right here. It doesn't need to be that close. If you're worried about not making it far enough, don't worry about the downturn quick drop thing. Just go ahead and stay and spin the whole time until you land and then fall through the crumble blocks. Morph as you are reaching the floor here. That will give you a soft morph so you don't bounce. Bouncing is slower here. And then roll to the left. If you want to be really aggressive in your time saves, you can try to turn back to the left before morphing. That can save you a frame, but for me it was too difficult to do that and get the soft morph. So I don't even attempt that here. I just do the soft morph and then roll left. You can see here that I unmorph with up. You can also do it with jump, but the main thing is that I'm actually holding angle up on the D-pad. I run forward a little bit, just a little bit, and then I shoot. And then what you want to do is you want to time your jump, assuming that you unmorph pretty much as soon as you come out of the tunnel here. You want to hold dash and you want to jump right on the left side of this mound here. That's going to get you the speed that you need to jump all the way up here. And then notice that shot that I did actually opens the door for us. The shot timing here is a little bit particular. It does need to be after Samus is moving forward, but it can't be too late after Samus is moving forward or too early, or it will miss the door. If it doesn't open the door, just shoot to open the door right here and you'll be just fine. So do the wall jump, shoot, open the door, run through. All right, right here you do want to do the gap skip, and then you want to jump and shoot up as you're jumping up over here. That's going to open this blue door up here for us. From there you want to arm pump a couple times to make sure that you get underneath this dragon guy, spin jump up onto this ledge here, and run on through. If you don't open this door with the shot back here, what's going to happen is this orb is going to bonk at a different time because the door would still be here. So the orb would bonk and it would actually end up in a position where it's going to be in your way coming back here. So you'll need to shoot the orb before you run through if you happen to miss the door. Another thing that can happen here that is really unfortunate when it does happen, if you jump too early, Samus is going to hit this guy, and then since you're trying to turn left anyway to get up onto this platform, a lot of the time you'll accidentally damage boost off this guy back over this direction. The way to avoid that is just to make sure that you're jumping a little later, but be prepared for it if it does happen so that you don't boost all the way back here and fall all the way down, because that sucks. Okay, let's take a look at Behemoth's rooms here. So you can see he does do a spin jump here. In my experience, that usually ends up being a little slower, but you know, obviously it's up to you what you want to do. He actually selects a missile here. He kills the orb and this guy, which will also reduce lag. He is using more missiles than I personally like to. I like to have a lot of missiles going into the next area, but again, that's totally up to him. So he's reducing the lag here. He's conserving energy by not doing the damage boost. And then he also chooses to missile this door, which I find interesting since he has 3 supers. But again, that's just his call there. Let's just take a look at this in full speed so you can see the difference there. Okay. And then here, he also does the same type of shot that I was describing. The spin jumps onto the platforms, runs forward, grabs the missile pack. He does kind of a late jump off the platform, and he does the same down grab super shot that I mentioned before. Okay, shoot coming out of the door, wall jump check on the wave beam, land on the edge here, run through, jump pretty close to the edge here, aim down near the end, quick drop. He does not go for the early shot to open the door, and he runs on out. All right, he does do the gap skip there. He does the same upshot on the door that I mentioned. He ledge grabs and runs on through. Okay, last room of this video today. We're going to be going back through Bubble Mountain here, so let's just take a look at this. So you can see I am holding left here. I jump after coming out of the door, and then I shoot right here. All right, the reason that we shoot here is to break spin. From there, you want to angle up and shoot this cack. Since we have wave and spazer, just one shot will kill it. And then When you shoot to kill this cac, you actually want to hold shoot so that you can start charging a shot. I don't remember if I get the strat in this run specifically, but we're charging this shot so that we can try and do a mid-air bomb spread here. So the way that a mid-air bomb spread works, essentially, normally when you are holding shoot and you are in the air, if you try to morph, what's going to happen is as soon as you release down, Samus will aim forward instead. So it prevents you from being able to morph. However, if you're aiming down during a turnaround and then you press down again at the end of the turnaround, Samus will actually morph even though she's not supposed to be able to. And that will allow us to release a bomb spread midair to get through this room a little faster. So what happens here in my PB, I actually accidentally don't quite clear the corner here, so we land. Obviously, that's really bad. It means that we're not going to get down through the room as quickly as we would like. So what I do is I back it up by just turning left. I release my charge shot and I just start shooting down. The reason I'm shooting down so much, there's a couple reasons. Sometimes there's going to be a waiver over here that would actually get in our way. I think our first shot actually killed it, so you don't actually see it here. But the other reason is these shots are breaking these blocks on our way down. You see I do an angle down shot here as I'm passing these bubbles. That is going to kill this Nova here in the pipe. And then I attempted to lay a bomb next to this block as we were landing, but I laid it a little bit too early. So I have to remorph, relay the bomb, wait for it to explode, and then roll on through. Another thing you'll see is that I'm shooting right here. You can see the beam just very briefly right here. That is to prevent the bomb from bouncing us. If you shoot and then morph as a bomb is exploding, that will prevent it from bouncing you up. From here, I go ahead and roll down on through, unmorph after laying a bomb in this corner, angle down, shoot just before this bomb explodes. The angle down shot kills this Nova that's in the pipe here, and it also prevents the bomb from bouncing us back up there. One more bomb here in the corner, shoot, morph, roll to the left. That will open the door, unmorph, jump across the gap, and run on through. Okay, all right. It's actually pretty important to me that you can see how the bomb spread works, so I went and found another run that actually has it. So we're just going to look at this here. Basically, I'm holding the charge, I jump, aim down, I do not land on the edge of the platform there. I continue aiming down as I'm falling, and then you can see that as I'm passing kind of this bottom section here next to the wall, I turn left, okay, while still aiming down. I turn left, and then right at the end of the turn animation, there's another down input. So if you're looking at the controller input display here, you can see no down input, end of the turn animation, there is a down input. That allows us to morph, okay? Now here's kind of the tricky thing about these mid-air bomb spreads. The bombs will come out when you release down and are still holding shoot, okay? So we fall a number of frames here, and I'm still holding down and shoot. And basically, I'm waiting to release the bombs until the right time so that they will explode the block at the bottom, and we can just go ahead and run on through. If I were to release shoot before releasing down, we would lose the charge and lose the bomb spread. So you don't want to do that. You also want to make sure that you don't release the bombs themselves too early, like up here, for example, or they won't blow up the blocks at the bottom, which is the whole reason that we're doing this in the first place. So I'm holding down and shoot, and then right around here, so if you look at the wall as we're falling down, it's right around the third indentation, I guess is what we'll call it. That's where I actually release the down input, okay? That releases the bombs, and then we immediately want to unmorph. And the reason that we want to unmorph is because we still need to shoot the blocks out right here so that we can fall through without landing on them, and also allow the bomb to fall down here so that it will be in position to explode and blow up this block in time. Lastly, just like with the other example of the strat that I mentioned, we still want to do an angle down shot right here to kill this Nova down here so that it's not in our way as we roll through the rest of the tunnel. And then the rest of the room is the same as it was. All right, so let's just watch in full speed. And that is the best way to do this room with this strat that I have found. Now, because this morph right here is frame perfect, a lot of the time you're going to miss it. The nice thing is, because you're already aiming down and you already have a shot, assuming you don't get the morph, you can do what I did before and just start spamming down shots so that you can fall straight down through here, and then make sure that you also do the angle shot to get the Nova as well. And that's really the only change that you need to make. So there isn't really a risk in going for this midair bomb spread, because if you mess it up, you just back it up by doing the normal shots. So yeah, that is the Bubble Mountain return. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what Behemoth does. So he used to go for the midair bomb spread. I don't think he does anymore. He also used to do a moonfall here. Doesn't look like he's doing that anymore either. One thing that you'll notice is he doesn't do the angle down shot on the Nova. And if you've been watching the other videos in this series, you'll know that the reason for that is because he doesn't have an angle down button. So he can't fall straight down and angle down at the same time. Anytime that he needs to angle down in the air, he's also going to move forward, because that's what he has to do on his D-pad, is hold down and forward. Because of that, he needs to shoot as the bomb is exploding to make sure that he gets this Nova. Another thing to consider is that the camera can be scrolled in a way that's not going to allow that shot to connect with the Nova, depending on how you do the rest of this room. So you have to be really careful about this shot timing here if you don't shoot it preemptively, like I talked about before. Aside from that, he does this room basically the same way that I do, so we'll just go ahead and watch the rest of that. And that's that. All right, one more thing to look at here. So this is Zost's run. If you happen to have Power Bomb, you can skip the whole Morph Ball Tunnel thing. Basically, you'll just want to do this similar to the way that any percent Phantoon First does this room. So he jumps off the mountain, he shoots the wavers, he lays a Power Bomb, he gets a drop from this waver, and then he just morphs on down through here and goes through the door on the left. You do want to make sure that you kill both of these wavers, because if you don't, there's going to be more lag in this room as well. Also, I should probably mention right here what he's doing. He's morphed, he unmorphs, and then he does a down back here. That allows him to get around this platform here without landing on it first, which is a little faster. You do want to shoot that Nova after you unmorph so that it won't bonk into you though as well. That's something else to keep in mind. And with that, I'm actually going to end off this video. The reason is I want to keep these videos to around an hour long each, and I know that we're about at that point now. The other thing is, this is a route divergence room right here. And one of the main things that people mentioned in my previous 100% tutorial was they wish that I would have covered both routes. So that's my plan. I'm going to do my best to cover both of the major routes here. And if I were to go clear to the end of Norfair in one video covering that other route as well, this video would probably be closer to maybe even two plus hours long. So we're just going to end off here for today. I do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this and the feedback that you've given me. If you have additional questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or come find me on Discord or on my stream on Twitch or YouTube, and I'll do my best to answer the questions. As always, thank you for your time and all of your support, and I'll see you guys soon.